I'm back for a little bit. Computer fan off. Maybe take a little bit of that edge off of the sound. I would ask anybody who had experienced this, if they were with somebody that suffered from this, what would the diagnosis mean? I mean, sure, in context, everyone would have their own individual version, their own quirks, their own reasons for how they became. But I want to know something. I would ask Professor Vagnon, I would ask anybody that studied any of this, was this inevitable? Was her abandonment inevitable? Because what would it have to be? I don't see any other way this works. You either become the beaten down victim that she then despises and hates because you're good for nothing and you didn't amount to much because she beat you down to that, or you see your way past it and through it somehow and you recover and she abandons you in that realm. Is this inevitable? I don't like these gurus that come out and there's a few of these girls that come out and they do these videos. I don't trust them. Because in the end they just say, well, it's important to know that you didn't do this, and then they just will invariably, obviously, the only thing they can do is advise, counsel, and seeking help if you need recovery. So they're just taking the same talking points over and over and over again. And some of them are probably even using ChatGPT to get their scripts. But the truth is, there's no answer. It looks like the only thing that could save someone from being beat down by a narcissist is if either Yah plucked them from this, saved them out of it, or they became one. So are you telling me, Professor Vagnon, that this was inevitable? We know that you stated that if she was amenable to treatment, maybe, right? If she was amenable to treatment, then there's hope. But is the statement, all of this is inevitable? Because will the sufferer, the NPD sufferer, the person with the tendencies, will they invariably run into their own truths that they can't escape? Will they just keep running into it over time as these patterns unfold? Will it just become obvious to them? And then what happens to the people that they claim to love afterwards? Where because see, ultimately what happened here is that there was some sort of realization, there was some sort of mortification event where she couldn't escape it, and she can't escape it, and she's not going to be able to. So you have to come to terms with facts and reality. If you're screwing up, you have to come to terms with it. It's just that simple. But what happens when you can't? What happens when you can't? You know, it's simple, but it's hard to convey. I'll say it. Maybe you don't know if you're making a mistake, right? Chances are you're just going through your days, doing your thing. And if you're making a mistake, hello, maybe you don't even know, right? Well, what would be required? You'd have to have an outcome that would let you know you're making a mistake. That outcome would inform you, and there'd either be people responding or reacting, or there'd be like if you're doing an experiment and two things in the vial make the elephant toothpaste. You'd have your end result. If you're looking for A plus B equals C and you don't get that, you know you're making a mistake. So failure tends to inform a lot more than success. But if you're not able to see or detect this on your own, you'd have to have somebody come and tell you. You'd have to have a third party inform you that there was a mistake being made. That person would have to be someone that either made the mistake, cared about you. I mean, think about it. Would you be going? Maybe you would. I don't know. If you saw someone was making a mistake that you made in the past, would you notice it and stop them? Would you go to them and say, "Hey, brother, you're about ready to do this, and here's my experience." Well, how do you avoid becoming the bad guy? If you're with a person that suffers from these narcissistic tendencies, every time you show up with an answer that's the right answer, they're going to feel like, oh, I didn't get the right answer again. I guess I'm just crap. I guess I'm just a loser. And when they do this, how can you address that? How can you stop them from doing this to themselves? Because what they're going to end up doing is they're going to be pulling things out of the past, a conflation or something they're forgetting. And they're going to go, well, what about you when you said this? And you keep saying that. And they're going to twist and try. But what are they trying to do? They're trying to paint themselves as a loser, paint themselves as someone that doesn't deserve to find out that they can progress. I get confused when the person who drops the ball doesn't know that they can pick it up. Just because you made a mistake and you didn't know it, it doesn't mean all judgment is passed upon you and you just should go sit in a corner and feel sorry for yourself and tell yourself you're crap or tell yourself you're garbage. You shouldn't be doing this to yourself. Ever. That's not what resolve is, right? The only way you're going to solve a problem is admitting that it's real. We know people that suffer, let's say, alcoholism. They have a problem admitting that there's a problem, right? That's the number one thing. They have a problem admitting there's a problem. So when you're looking out for someone and they're about ready to drink that cup of poison and it's going back and you see them, they're going to suck that cup of poison back, and you know you need to lunge towards them to swipe it out of their mouth, to swat it out of their mouth. But you also know that if you do that, they're going to treat you poorly, they're going to respond badly, because what they've told you is, oh, if you're going to correct me, you have to do it all sweetly and nicely. You can't come at me all hard. Because that's what my experience is. You get gaslit, told, see, that's what your problem is. You didn't come at me respectfully and talk to me like a normal adult. And that's never the case in this house. Because it's not like the things my wife does are not like, oops, now a mousetrap has gone off on my pinky toe, and I'm screaming to the rafters like Tom. Well, Tom and Jerry Tom. You'd have to know the reference. And it's not like she does this. So you're not going to come at her that way. You're going to go, hey, that doesn't make sense. And you're going to go, hey, hun. You've got mail. You're gonna say, hey, hun, what's the deal with this thing? I'm confused. Can you help me understand it? And it would be right off the bat, oh, well, you're just imagining this. I've always done it this way. Or what, I don't know what your deal is. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? Or you just get, it's a weird combination of deflected, devalued, demeaned, and put on a shelf. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Until it becomes something, and then who are you? You're just this bad guy. So as you present skilled talent, let's say you've thought something through, and you present in an area where your efforts pay off, and because you paid attention to details, your endeavors pay off and you're doing good work. Well, what do you do when your partner in life is upset at you for that? What could you ever do? How would you come to them and say, hey, that behavior's a little off? Or do you think you're being a little overbearing because I'm just trying to get something done in the realm of progress for the two of us, and you're not really seeing it the way you should be seeing it, and you're coming at me and asking me for an explanation, and then you're not willing to take the explanation, and now we're back to wasting more time. I don't even know how I started this. I had a distinctive message when I started. But, all of my days, attention deficit disorder reigns supreme. So I guess I won't ramble on and keep anybody's, I won't keep going for too long. So when I get the questions up, I like the larger format. I like the better content. But it's too much for you guys. And it's not respectful. And it doesn't help me convey a damn thing. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm trying to, physically I'm not well. These are not my hours. My hours are a little bit later. So thanks for saying hello. Hello, Roman. Hello, Dude Custodio. Hello, Jackson Martin. These people here. Hello, for people that were watching. I'm going to go real quick. I'll come back a little bit later. It's better to have content than incessant rambling anyways. So, I'll figure something out. I'm trying to reach her, trying to get my family back together. Trying to stay afloat. Thanks, gang. Chat soon. Bye.